Okay, hello everybody. Hello. I think we're live now. Let's just make sure we're
Hello.
live. Hello, hello, hello. Let's make sure we're live. Yep, we are live. Okay, very good.
Cool.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to this latest broadcast of the Blind Tech Guys Adventures. Blind Tech Guys. What are we? I
Blind
don't
Tech
even know what we are.
Adventures now. I don't know what the hell we are.
Yeah, we're the Blind Tech Adventures. I think we've had enough name changes. And so welcome. Glad everybody's with us today. Well, if you are with us, and if you're not, then you should be. And maybe you should invite your friends and have all the popcorn coming and everything else. So I've had an absolutely horrendous day. It was absolutely the worst day ever. And it's because
That's
I had
saying
to get
something.
my... Yeah, I had to... it wasn't as bad as clothes shopping, but it was pretty close. I had to get my pictures taken and for a headshot for work, and I hate standing in front of a camera.
Yeah, that is pretty miserable.
Hate having pictures taken. Hate having somebody telling me go do this and do that and look this and look that and up and there and do
Smile,
that.
Nimer. Smile.
It fucking pisses me off. I was not very happy. I don't enjoy it, but at least it's done now. But so I had a miserable day. Can't think of any worse thing I could have done except maybe go clothes shopping. Nonetheless, happy to be here with all of you. And I have early weekend coming up. So tomorrow I have off, which is good. By the way, they were supposed to send me the pictures by the end of the day, and I still haven't seen them, which means that after this stream I still have more work to do if they send me the pictures. And if they don't, I'm going to miss a deadline. So
Oh boy.
they said they would, but let's see what happens. Anyway, this is going live on Thursday. What's the date today? The 10th? Yeah,
The
it's the
10th,
10th.
yep.
So Thursday the 10th of March. And we got a bit warm today here. It's about 68, 70 degrees, somewhere around there. It's very nice. I hear you guys have been cold and
lucky.
snowy.
We've been very cold and very snowy. And
Too bad.
yeah.
I enjoy the
March.
cold and the snow, so I wish that we had cold and snow here. And when I lived in Colorado, March was the snowiest season, and April was the second snowiest month. So I definitely wish I was there, but I'm not. I'm in earthquake country instead.
You're
And
in Silicon Valley country.
yeah, so in the last week, there was an Apple event, and for you blind people that love your tiny little phones, I'm sure that you'll be very delighted to hear that we have a new iPhone that you will very much like. And it's just like your iPhone 5S or 6 or whatever it was. The iPhone
8.
6, I guess. Yeah,
think
the iPhone
8 is
8. I mean, yeah, but I think the 6 looked similar to the 8, didn't it? I don't know. Anyway, they're all the
Pretty
same
much.
phone. So it's been the same phone for the last 20 years. So, you'll be very happy to know that. There's a new iPad. So anyway, we'll talk about some of the new Apple events. And Robert last week left a comment about he was having issues with virtual audio cable and how he lost audio. And I know that we've had questions about what we used to stream and people want to know. And so I figured maybe, after some heartfelt discussions with my good buddy Kirt, we would do a stream about how to stream.
Yeah.
And let's just say from the outset that we don't actually know what the hell we're doing. We figure things out as we go along. We are definitely not audio pros. We're not what's his name? Jonathan Mosen.
Oh, right.
My name's not Marco. I don't have a PhD in audio engineering. I don't know anything. But what I know is what I've been able to figure out just by mucking about, pushing buttons. And I think that we have a setup that works for us. That doesn't mean that we're not ever looking at anything new, but, I think that we will talk about some of the tools that we use, and if you should choose to use them, then I think we can maybe help you with that. So that's what today's stream's about. And I seem to be having lots of issues with words.
Huh.
So I might have to shut up and let Kirt talk some more.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so, and I looked on the internet because in tandem with our podcast, I've been just for fun trying to stream games and things on my Facebook. And it turns out there's not a lot of documentation out there about how to stream with a screen reader. So, we were hoping that today we could at least give some of that for anybody who maybe wants to get started, at least to know what we do, what's worked for us, what's not worked for us.
Yeah. The other thing is that in the past, you may have noticed that whenever we've done demos, you've heard a lot of echo. And what's caused that is when we do a screen share in StreamYard, if I share my screen and therefore share my audio, what ends up happening is anytime Kirt talks, it's being shared, because it's going through his mic. But then again, it's also being shared through my audio screen share. So there's this echo effect. And the end result is that our audio doesn't sound very good and people can't understand what we're saying. And then you got me laughing in the background and making dumb comments when Kirt's presenting. And anyway, it's not very good. So that's kind of partly why we've gone down the road of using this virtual audio cable. And so that's what we're using today. We're figuring it out. Kirt and I are pretty new to it. And I think that we have to figure out the whole process of switching back and forth between audio sources, etc.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I can say that the echo will be gone. So there will be no more echo, and we'll be able to talk at the same time and share the audio anyway. Now, we won't be sharing screen. If we do, well, we could share screen, I suppose. We just wouldn't share the audio with the screen, but otherwise, we won't be sharing the screen. And since this is mostly screen reader stuff, content, and channel anyway, I think that's fine. And we've had issues before where something gets shared on screen that maybe should not have been shared on screen. So
it's happened.
Like messages from somebody.
Yep. That.
So we'll have more control over that, and we won't need to be sharing screen, although we could. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying that out. We're going to see how it goes. And we've done some demos of that in the past week, so go check out some of those videos if you want to even hear the whole process of how we set it up. And we did that, I think, at like 1 in the morning or something, 2 in the morning.
Yep.
So if you are interested in that, go check that one out. We're not going to go through that much in depth today, but just kind of give you some ideas about that. So anyway, enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Enjoy the broadcast. Get your popcorn. Get your blankets.
Beverage.
Get your beverage. Get whatever you'd like to get. Get ready for some fun. And we'll start out with comment here from Ted Rose. He says, "Hi, Nimer and Kirt. Greetings from Chicago." I believe we've also got some comments from Robert.
Always good to hear from Robert.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Kirt comment. I don't need to read that one.
Ha!
Here we go. Okay, yeah, he wrote us some comments. And that is to our email that says email confusion. Okay. Hi, Nimer, Kirt, blessed greetings from Zimbabwe. Hello, Robert, to you too. And leaves us another comment. Dear Kirt, do you happen to know people that speak a language called Braille?
Yeah, that's kind of an inside joke.
He also left another comment about virtual audio cable. He tried to use virtual audio cable, but his audio went silent. So hopefully we can help you out there. Thank you for watching there, Robert. Definitely appreciate it. And
yeah.
did I read this Ted Roast chat? I think I did. So I can't remember what I did.
Yeah, you did read the one that Ted from Chicago. Yeah.
Ted Roast from Chicago. It's like Ted Roast, like a roast of lamb or something, or no, not a roast. No, never mind. I'll just shut up and we can. Okay, let's. What's new in the news?
Well, so the first and probably most obvious thing that's new is the Apple event. So in the stream here, I did link to a Tom's Guide article that recaps pretty much everything that Apple released in this. They called it peak performance for some reason.
PEEK, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I spelled it right, I think. Like, take a look at this. And, yeah, it seems like most of it is, their formula that they've been doing for years that works pretty well, especially with their kind of more budget items of just putting newer brains in an older body. So you've got the new iPhone SE that is essentially the same as the old iPhone SE and the old iPhone 8. The difference is it's got an A15 chip instead of A13.
It's got 5G, Kirt. 5G.
Yeah, it does have 5G. 5 judo players using Gi, I guess.
I say 5G because the CEO of Verizon, anytime he has a show or gets on and talks about all their new innovations, anytime he talks about their new Ultra stuff, it's all about the 5G. That's what he calls it, 5G.
That's pretty funny. Good old Hans Vespers, right?
Yep. So I started calling it 5G.
That's better than 5 gin.
Does not have millimeter wave. Anybody interested in networking hardware? There's no millimeter wave. It also does not have the AT&T 3.45, the lower half of their C-band spectrum. So in terms of networking, this is not the device to buy. It's already outdated. The millimeter wave probably less of a concern than the 3.45 on AT&T anyway. But
yeah. But on Verizon, that's a pretty big deal.
I mean, if you can,
wherever
you can find it, and
yeah,
something like that.
And I guess the only other real new thing in this phone, it's looking like same cameras, slightly bigger battery.
I mean, they'd have to make the battery pretty huge to make it worthwhile, because that battery is terrible in the old one.
Yeah, but
it is a really thin phone, although the Mini is actually smaller.
Sure.
It's really funny because a lot of blind people say, I like small phones, but then it has to be the SE. It can't be the Mini, even though the Mini is actually smaller than the SE.
Yeah.
But,
no, Touch ID,
I don't really understand how that works, but...
Well...
Oh, yeah, Touch ID. Yeah, we have Touch ID back.
Yeah.
With the little home knob circle thing on the bottom.
Yeah. And, I think when I get a new... So I have an iOS device still. And I just spent probably more money than I should have on a really nice Windows laptop, so I can't think about upgrading anything for a while. But when it's time to upgrade my iOS, I'm probably going to get this SE, I think. Because, it's not my main phone. I don't really need a big battery on it. And, for a lot of people who are the target audience of this thing, that might not be as big of a deal.
I mean, there's a lot of sighted users who like pretty small, compact phones. There's definitely still a market. Apple would not make this phone if it was just geared to blind people.
Right.
There's very clearly a good market for this phone. And, if you tend to not use your phone as much, the battery's not as much of a concern. Or if you're willing to carry around a battery case.
Yeah.
It's just not, so it does have its place. What bothers me is that phones tend to get released and I understand this phone is lower cost, but I don't know. I just don't like buying a phone knowing that network-wise it's already outdated.
Yeah.
I don't think most people will notice. I don't think it's something that you're going to care about. In fact, if I didn't tell you about this, you probably wouldn't have ever noticed. But
yeah, I mean, a few people would, but yeah, yeah.
It's not going to change how you do your daily tasks.
No.
And AT&T's network's still going to be, fast even without. In fact, the more people jump on these other bands, the more freed up the regular old LTE is going to be.
Yeah.
So. And now AT&T's killing off 3G so they can take that very small, tiny chunk of spectrum and put it on 4G or 5G.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what's this? We have a bunch of hackers doing crazy things.
We do have.
Let's go back to the Apple event. Sorry.
Oh, right. We've got iPads.
Yeah, we got iPads. Yeah, we got some new toys for the iPad side. Also new Mac. Their new chip for their new Macs. The Mac Studio's like 80 times more powerful than Mac Pro or some crazy number. I don't even know.
M1 Ultra now? Like, wow.
Yeah, everything's Ultra now. Yeah. Sounds like Verizon had something to do with their marketing.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah, it's a nice device. Very nice Mac. Very expensive, but very powerful.
Yeah.
And probably overkill for most people's needs. Please do not run out and buy this thing unless you absolutely know that you need this.
Yeah, and if
unless you have a bunch of money to burn.
Yeah, and if you're one of the few people who would need it, you probably know already.
Right. Yeah, you would know if you need this. Your JAWS will never take advantage of this, or VoiceOver, or anything that you need to do accessibility-wise. So, is there anything else, Kirt? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I think they had some announcements with streaming more baseball games on Friday nights or something, but we're getting to the bottom of the barrel with Apple stuff, clearly.
Yeah, well, if you want to watch your baseball, then Apple's the way to go, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought these next news articles were kind of interesting, though.
Yeah. So what are you doing, hacking things?
Ha! Yeah, so there is apparently this hacker group called Lapsus $. I have no idea who they are or really what their agenda is, but they have hacked two of the biggest tech companies in the world in the span of a week.
Oh, good.
First, they hit NVIDIA. I almost said NVDA. Yeah, so they hit NVIDIA and got some of the source code for some of their graphics card drivers.
Oh, good.
And published it in a torrent on the internet, and they're wanting their demand for ransom isn't money, it isn't anything, it's except for they want NVIDIA to make their drivers open source, which will never happen. But so that was the first hack. The second one was the same group got a hold of all the proprietary Samsung source code in Android that makes their phones different from stock Android.
Oh, good.
So you've the everything behind the Bixby and the internet browser and the.
This actually seems to me like a really huge thing that is being underplayed.
Yeah, it's massive. And they published it in a torrent that was 190 gigabytes. And I was watching one of the tech YouTubers I follow, and he was like, I downloaded this in 2 hours, and, now I'm seeding it so other people can download it faster. But the probably the biggest thing I can think of in this is, well, there's a lot of big things. If the public can get a hold of all of the source code that makes Samsung's software different. Maybe people can figure out how to unlock the bootloader and maybe have an easier time rooting a Samsung phone. And, there's also a ton of security implications, obviously, and so, like, if you have
Samsung seems to be saying it's not really a big deal, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand that because it seems like a pretty massive deal to me.
Yeah. Just to be clear, I don't think any user data has been stolen, so
No.
nothing like that. But I don't think this is great for Samsung. But
No.
somebody must be having a bad day over there. It's just like if Apple's all their source code just here you go,
Yeah.
out in the wild. Now anybody can make iPhones.
Yeah. I mean, part of me is a little bit happy in the sense that I've kind of wanted to try rooting my Samsung phone at some point, and maybe now I'll be able to easier without running as much of a risk of breaking it. But, I mean, overall, I don't think it's a good thing. So.
Yeah, so very interesting. Well,
So that's,
there we go.
Yeah.
If you're
an Android person that's, if you have a Samsung phone and they've got security updates coming out soon, I would not wait to install those.
Yep.
So,
All right, let's see if we have any comments. No chats. But we do have 4 watching. So if you are one of those watching, thank you for watching.
yeah.
Keep hitting, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, hit the unlike, hit unsubscribe. Do whatever you like. Share it out with your friends. Tweet it. Snapchat it. Bumble it. Twitch it. Whatever you'd like. Tumble it. Is it tumble or bumble?
I think they're different things. I think you're combining 2 different millennial social networks here.
Oh, Tumblr. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Tumblr and Bumble.
Yeah. Isn't Bumble a dating app?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm not telling you to share it on your dating app, but you could, I guess.
I mean, you can. I don't know how much that'll work out for you, but you can.
Oh, man. Yep. All right, so let's see. Streaming. So I guess we'll start out with very, very basic. In order to be live on YouTube, and especially in order to have guests on and things like that, we needed to find a solution that lets us stream to YouTube. And you can't use YouTube.com. This seems a little weird to me, and probably to some people. It seemed weird to me when I first started out. You can't use YouTube.com, so you have to find some other way to do it. Now, you can use some like OBS. And Kirt will talk a little bit about this OBS.
Yeah.
But OBS tends to have this limitation of, if I want to bring in guests, tends to be a little bit more complex to do that. You can use something like Zoom. Zoom will let you go live on the YouTube side. But in my experience, it's not always the most reliable thing. The audio quality in Zoom is generally not as great, and it doesn't let you interact with people in the chat unless you also have the YouTube page open. There's some other limitations to it. Otherwise, I mean, if you already have Zoom, you could use that. You could, let's see, there are some phone type things that you could use. There's also a few of them, a few services that are on the web, like Restream and StreamYard. We've gone with StreamYard because it offers us the most amount of features for the cheapest price. We pay, for our plan, $10 a month, and that gives us recording of 50 hours a month. It gives us, what is it, up to, I don't even know how many guests, 5 guests or something.
I think they cap it at 10.
10 guests, yeah, 10 guests. It gives us 10 guests. It gives us 3 different sources to stream to. Stream to like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, a bunch of different sources. And so right now we're streaming to Kirt's page, we're streaming to our YouTube channel, and we're streaming to Twitter. Tweet. It's my Twitter. And so we're doing that all at once in this one platform, in this thing called StreamYard. They do have a free plan, but the free plan doesn't do things like recording. It limits the number of places that you can stream to. It doesn't... there's a number of things that there's a few things that it's limited by.
You get 20 hours a month.
Yeah, 20 hours a month or something. So a very low number of hours, whatever it is. No, I think it's 2 hours, right? Is it 2 hours? I don't know. It's a very limited plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the free plan is pretty limited. So. Restream we played around with, and there were a few more accessibility issues with Restream. There's some other reason why we didn't keep using them too. I think it was
just price, yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, pricing is part of it. They are a little bit more. StreamYard had an offer that we were able to get in on. Otherwise, Restream was actually cheaper than StreamYard. But I think we ran into some kind of an issue with audio sharing, or I don't remember what it was. Some kind of an issue with them. But anyway, they're generally okay, but they have some more unlabeled buttons on their site. They do allow for streaming to more platforms at once. You can do up to 30, which is good. Both StreamYard and Restream allow for multi-track recording if you pay for a lot more money. Whatever their pro plan is.
Yeah, it's like $25 a month for StreamYard.
No, I think it's $50 a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the $25 a month does not do multi-track.
Oh, so, $25 a month was before we had the StreamYard offer. Now I'm thinking correct. Okay, yeah, yep. I got you. Okay.
So there's a plan that does multi-track and that can increase the audio quality, make it a little bit more higher quality audio. So you can do that. We found the multi-tracking wasn't great, especially with, I think it was Restream or whatever. One of them wasn't really very good because it didn't label the tracks very well, and would just cut off some tracks and start some of them later than others. So it took a lot more work to actually use multi-tracking.
By the way, the free StreamYard is 20 hours a month.
Okay, looked. All right. Looks like we have a spam comment.
Lovely.
So we will block you, forget you. Yeah, so if you're intending on spamming us, we will block your comments, and I suggest that you just get off the stream and stop wasting your time and ours. Because it's discouraging and really makes me wonder why we do a stream if what the comments we get are from spammers and not real people. So I just suggest that you stop posting your spam.
Why are you picking us anyways? Like, there's plenty of bigger channels you can harass. Like, I'm not saying you should, but, you know.
Yep. All right, so... that's kind of that side. They're just websites. They're just web interfaces. So things are generally labeled okay. Restream had better music options. So they had the background music, and it doesn't just keep looping the same thing. So Restream was a bit better with that. If you want to have background music in your stream. Yeah, I mean they're generally pretty decent for what they are. And they're pretty well labeled. StreamYard and Restream let you set up your own keyboard shortcuts. StreamYard is very configurable in that way. So you can set up keyboard shortcuts to do pretty much anything, and they work pretty well.
Yeah.
There are the issues with screen share that we've mentioned, where if you try to share audio, and if the other person is talking, then that will feedback. You'll get the echo. And otherwise, I don't know. Anything else that we should?
No, I think StreamYard, everything's pretty clearly labeled. Everything's fairly accessible. The one thing I would very much suggest you do is go into your settings and turn on your keyboard shortcuts and configure some of those the way you want, because that makes a real difference.
Yeah. You can also turn off echo cancellation and all that. Turn on stereo audio if you have a way to record in stereo. So there's a good number of settings that you can adjust, things that you can do. And otherwise, it's the one that we use. And I think I tried also Streamlabs and found it wasn't very accessible. So there are a number of these. Yeah, so I've tried, there are a number of these, but probably StreamYard is the better one at the moment. And if it ever becomes not the better one, then, I guess we'll have to switch. But it's all right for what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, if anyone has experience streaming and you found something that works better for you, by all means, let us know, because StreamYard's working well. But, we're always up to look at options.
Yep. When you schedule a stream, their scheduler has a little bit to be desired, especially if you try to select a date that is not, a time that is not today, for a different day. Their schedule has some accessibility issues in that way. So if you're going to schedule a stream, you can do it, but it will take you knowing your screen reader commands and trying a little this and a little that. But, because that's not really a straightforward process. Both StreamYard and Restream will let you record videos ahead of time and schedule those to go live at whatever time that you want to choose. And so you can do just a recording, or you can actually go live, or you can do a scheduled record and go live later type thing.
Yeah.
So.
Or a lot of times I'll actually use it to test audio on my computer. I mean, I know there are things on Audacity and stuff can be better, but you can do recordings in StreamYard just to see without doing a broadcast, but you can have it record to see how does my mic sound, so that's pretty cool.
And for podcasters, when you go to download, it will give you an option to download as video or audio, and you can choose. And the audio is it's about 128 kbps. It's not the highest quality audio, but you can get higher quality audio. You just have to pay more for it. So the one thing is, it's not hugely worth doing that on the YouTube side, because YouTube kind of has their own audio mucking about anyway. How we record or what we hear isn't always what's actually played back on YouTube. So
yeah.
There is another one called the Clean Feed, and there's a few other ones like it. Those work pretty well, but they're not for streaming. They're just for recording. So if you want some good high-quality recording, and you want to record something with a guest, like a podcast with a guest, you want to go online and do that, your guest is somewhere else, you could get on something like Clean Feed and have a very good high-quality recording, and then you could upload that later on to whatever platform that you'd like. So
yeah, we've used Clean Feed. It works pretty well for just for recording.
Yeah. All right. Kirt, you want to have a chat about OBS? Or should we do virtual cable first?
let's do... we can do either one. I'm just checking to see if I've got any... Oh, no comments on my Facebook. Okay.
We got 3 watching so far.
Cool.
Looks like so.
Well, maybe let's do virtual audio cable.
Okay. Yeah, so we downloaded virtual audio cable as a whim, like, hey, let's just muck about with this. I think it was last week. Oh, hey, I can hear your speech.
Yeah. That's what virtual audio cable does.
And that's it. So we can easily share audio, and while we're both talking, and it won't echo and won't do strange things with the audio. And if you want to hear an exact process of setting it up, then, you know, the whole full process. I mean, Kirt will go through and give you a little bit of a demo of it. But if you want to hear the full process of actually going through it, you know, watch that video. It's probably a good half hour, 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
And we go through what that full process is like. So
yeah, and it's a little bit when you set it up, there's a lot of numbers. I got the NVDA add-on. It helped a little bit for me, but basically, yeah, the virtual audio cable just lets you, you know, it's like I added NVDA to my stream, or I could say, you know, you can have like everything from your computer but certain apps come into the stream. So it just gives you a little more customization. And yeah, that's how we're going to hopefully get around the screen share echo problem that we had. And so... Then the only thing is, when you don't want the screen reader talking, you just have to change the synthesizer. There we go. So now you probably shouldn't be hearing my NVDA. And yeah, so there are a few programs that do this. I think the virtual audio cable is the best one that I've found so far. And yeah, it would be too much to try and set it up all right now. The only, I guess, kind of annoying thing here, I'll show you. There we go. Yep. Is it relies on these things called audio repeaters that you have to set up a certain way, and once you've done it once, you can save it. But they always just kind of get in the way when you're alt-tabbing around. Like, and I don't want to stop because each of these three, like I'll tab through this one, and if I were to stop this, it would break NVDA going through the stream right now. And
yeah, so I'll do in this case we'll do a screen share.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And all right, so I'll do a screen share, and what I'll do is share the screen and go through some of the setup for virtual audio cable, and tell you a little bit. We won't go through the full setup or anything. Like, it's not going to be as comprehensive as what we did, but just to give you an idea of how to set it up. Okay, so let's share my screen. Entire screen. Share system audio. There we go. All right, and we'll change this to Windows 1 core.
StreamYard desktop.
All right, so first of all, when you get this thing downloaded and installed, one of the things that you might run into is it might change your audio source. So either have a USB headset or something, or know what the command is for your screen reader to change your audio source. In NVDA, that is insert Control S. And if you hit the tab key, then you have a list of your audio sources. So then you can just hit down arrow, choose one, go back into the menu, hit down arrow, choose one.
Braille display is also very helpful.
Braille display is very helpful. There is a very distinct possibility that when you set it up, you will lose your audio. It doesn't always happen. I've installed this thing a few times. It doesn't always happen, but it very easily could happen. So I suggest having another way of
New notification
changing
from
your audio source. You can also go into the control panel if you or your sound mixer, and change it that way. Again, if I think we can have a whole nother stream on commands that you type into the run box to get into different parts of your system without speech, but I would very much make sure that you have an alternative to get speech back when or if you lose it. So once you set it up, then you're going to open up the virtual audio cable.
Start window. VAC control panel.
Control panel. VAC control panel.
Virtual audio cable.
I don't have the NVDA out on, but I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to tab to an option to be able to set how many cables that you'd like. In this case, you probably need 2. I would, maybe just have 3 just in case. I don't know that it really hurts you to have more than one, other than you'll end up having multiple cables or whatever. But you want at least 2.
Combo box, drive, clear, privacy,
So
sound,
tab,
audio, restart, about, help, exit button, driver grouping, cables edit selected 3.
So there you go. That box there, it says cables 3. You can just type in 2 or whatever. You want at least 2. 3 is fine. And then when you're done,
set button.
You want the set button. One thing you have to remember, and I didn't do this when opening this app this first time, is you want to open it up as admin. If you don't open it up as admin, it'll give you an error, and it'll tell you, you basically can't do it or something. So you need to open this up as admin. So if you don't know how to do that, if you go to the search box,
start with
VAC,
VAC control panel,
and when the app comes up, hit your right-click, Shift F10, Applications
Bing
key.
document, run as administrator,
Run as administrator.
secure desktop,
User
virtual,
And hit yes. Virtual audio cable is now running in admin mode. So now you can make that change. So you want to make sure that you have at least 2 cables set up.
driver, clear,
You can leave the rest of these as the default. And frankly, I have absolutely no idea what most of these things do, but I don't have a PhD in audio. So I think that you can adjust like your bit rate and all that, your minimum and maximum bit rate in here. You can also do things like your
grouping,
how many worker threads, what your priority for your cables.
log level
La. I don't care. It'll work without mucking about with any of these settings. So the only thing that you want to do is set up the number of cables and then hit the set button. Now once you do that,
StreamYard,
you want to open up audio repeaters. So you want to open up
StreamYard audio repeater 1.60.
I have already one open.
Combo box line 2.
Let's just make sure
StreamYard,
we do them in order.
Stream audio repeater. Combo box line 2.
I've got a billion of these
Start
repeaters.
Audio repeat. Combo box line 2. Stream audio repeat.
All right, there we go.
Combo box mic 1.
So first one you want to set up you want to first set up a repeater that has your mic,
Start.
and this is for streaming, so you might change this depending on what you actually want.
Combo box mic 1.
You want your mic 1,
Mic 1. Virtual audio.
virtual audio cable, and when you hit tab, you can choose where that goes to.
Combo box line 1. Virtual audio cable.
You want that going to line 1. All right. You don't need to change anything else in here. You can, if you like, change your bit rates and change your, again, change your priority for your audio. If you find that normal is too laggy or something, you can change the priority. You can do some other things in here.
Combo.
On my machine, it works just in its normal state. So just
Yeah.
set up mic 1, line 1, hit the start button.
Start.
Now, if you want to save these settings, before you hit the start button, hit the
Help. Save config button.
Save config button. So again, you can just tab around. There's a save config button. Save that, and you can save it as whatever you'd like. It's just a CFG config file. You can save it as repeater 1 if you like. Save it as whatever you'd like.
Start.
And then if you want to load it next time when you open up the repeater app,
Load config button.
there's a load config.
Combo.
By the way, the repeater
Start.
app, there's 2 of them.
Start window.
So when you
Audio
go to the start
repeater,
menu,
KS.
there's a audio repeater KS. That's for kernel something, source or something. Don't open that one. That one's not going to work.
Find result.
You
Audio
want-
repeater. Madame.
Audio repeater, I have no idea what that is.
Result. Find.
MME.
MME.
Audio repeater. FIND.
Let's
space
spell it.
RESULTS space IN space APPS.
Oh, it's not
No
spelling it?
objects in. Find results in apps grouping clickable.
I think
Find
NVDA is
result-
getting more
find
and
res-
more
find
useless by the day.
Result in at bottom. Find audio repeater. Madame. Results. Find.
All right. Whatever that audio repeater is, that's the one that you want.
Au-
All right. So
Start. Combo box mic 1.
So we've got mic
Combo
1
box line 1.
to line 1. Then you want the second audio repeater, so just open the app again.
Audio repeat. Combo box line 2.
You want line
Combo
2
box line 1. Combo.
to line 1, so you can set that up as repeater 2 or 3. It doesn't matter at that point.
Audio
And
repeater.
then you need a third repeater.
Combo box line 2.
You need line 2
Combo box headphone.
to your headphones or speakers or whatever it is that you use for your audio. Set this up in the way that I'm telling you, and what will be the case is when you go to share audio, any audio that you would like to share, have that audio set to using line 2. So again, if you go to your control panel,
Run dialog. Oh. Desktop.
How do you like that
control
background
panel?
music?
very good.
Sound.
Although I think it's echoing. Because it's probably going through my screen share. So if you go to sound,
Sound dialog.
and you have your list of playback devices, set this to line 2 if you want all your system audio set to line 2. Otherwise,
Control.
if you just want to share your screen reader, again, go to your, however your screen reader does it. In JAWS, it's, I don't even remember what their stupid command is, but
Select.
you can go into the change sound card setting in the utilities menu. That's how you do it in JAWS. They do have a hotkey. I don't remember what it is at the moment.
They better have a hotkey.
They do. I don't remember what it is.
Audio output device.
In NVDA, go to the change synthesizer setting. For some reason, it's in there. I don't understand why. NVDA's just gotten to be more crappy by the day. And our developers seem to have stagnated. But anyway, I guess I will refrain from giving more thoughts about screen readers.
Head. Microsoft.
And just say that if you want your audio to be shared, you want that to be as
Line 1. Line
line
3. Line 2.
2. And assuming as all your repeaters have started, then you will be sharing your audio. So that is
Control.
that.
Audio.
So
Audio. StreamYard.
let's stop the screen share.
Stop.
There.
Yeah. So another cool thing that I was like sort of doing a very bad job of showing while the screen share was going on was how in your sound mixer you can change, you know, where different audio sources are going. So I've got this royalty-free music playing on YouTube right now. It's in my headphones, and I will just switch it over to line 2. Line 2. There we go. And you can probably all hear it now, but we probably don't want that for too long, so I'll switch it back. There we go. So, you know, I use this for, you know, I've used this for some of my game streaming. I think, you know, if you were wanting to do like DJ work or something, there's a lot of potential there. But yeah. So hopefully that'll help us. And there we go. So now I can hear my NVDA, and you know, if Nimer were to talk or whatever, there would not be
Hello.
So
No
that's
echo.
That's the advantage of this. And then, of course, I was kind of worried before the stream talking to Nimer and being like, well, what if I need to change? You know, I don't want everyone to hear my screen reader for whatever reason. Well, it is really not that hard to change. When you know where to go, it's really not that hard to change audio sources. So, you know, now my NVDA is back away from everyone, still in my headphones.
Let's see, we can both share screen too this way.
Oh, yeah.
Hush. So there we go. And we shouldn't be echoing, and you should be able to hear both of our screen readers.
Yeah. I can't hear yours.
You can't hear mine.
I cannot.
That's strange.
I wonder if there's a limit to the number of channels that can be going. I don't know. Let me pull it up.
That would be odd if you... I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear mine. That's very odd.
Yeah, did you kill a repeater on accident?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. Let me see. I wonder if I open it up on YouTube. I wonder if it's just limitation on my end.
Dialog. Mobile dialog. Button closable. Object slider clickable button info. Check automatically adjust volume. Edit level 2 settings. Button closable. Blank. Clickable complimentary and button clickable and post clickable button toggle button press clickable button star comment. Clickable volume 755 PM button FYI.
Oh,
toggle button show comment broadcast. Clickable button comment actions.
I
Button
saw
star
the
comment.
spam
Clickable
comment.
comments as a destination. Clickable toggle button star comment. Clickable button toggle button press charge 750 train and also my potato. Button star comment.
Ha! Potato.
Oh, what's
Harshid
potato?
wants us to try something called potato.
Button comment actions. Toggle button press show 748 PM red.
Oh, Play-Doh.
Star comment. Clickable button comment actions. Toggle button press show 709 PM Nimer from Chicago. Toggle clickable button
Oh, that's another spammer.
We also might try out potato, huh? That's cool. Is that some other audio thing? Or are you hard talking to the spammer, Harshid? Oh, I see. Play-Doh. Huh.
What's a potato there, Harshid?
Let me see.
Yeah. I don't know why you can't hear my screen reader, though. It's very odd.
I'm gonna open the stream on my YouTube.
I probably misconfigured a repeater, so...
Oh, it's easy to do. I've done it enough times. That's the thing, is just doing one thing slightly wrong and it...
The strange thing is it was working before the stream.
Yeah? Well, let's see. I have...
That's what's odd.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, is my NVDA going through this whole time still?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, yours is coming through. But mine is not coming through.
Yeah, I wonder if one of your repeaters had some sort of a problem.
They're all running.
Yeah, it was working before the stream.
Let's see.
And I know we have tested it with both of our screen readers going, so that is definitely a theme.
Mic 1 to line 1. That's good. So we'll start that one. Line 2 to headphone. We'll start that one. And line 2 to line 1.
Yeah.
And we'll start that one. And then we'll switch NVDA sound source to line 2. And no speech. I have no idea.
Yeah, that is... That's strange.
Yeah, it's quite strange. I don't know what's going on there.
That's probably the sort of thing where, like, I saw that, like, restart audio button in there, but, you know, don't know that that would actually...
Yes, it's very strange.
Yeah. Do you know a way? Like when I was trying to play that YouTube music a minute ago, and it went into line 1 or it went into line 2.
Wait, what?
So when I was playing the YouTube music a minute ago,
Yeah.
I accidentally had it go into line 1 first and then line 2 because like I was pressing L in the sound mixer, you know?
Yep.
Is that just unavoidable?
Yeah, you can't order the
Okay.
lines.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, let me see if we've got any more comments here. Oh, Potato is... Ha! Hey, Sneed is here!
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Sneed!
Sneed. Good to see you here. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, apparently Potato is a Windows audio streamer. I saw a few other ones, like, that weren't accessible with NVDA, like, there was a Voice Meter Banana, which looked promising, but
Oh.
you would have had to go into screen review to do everything in there, and it was just too much.
Interesting.
So Harshad is asking what the main issues we're having with the virtual cables, and really,
For the most part, they're working, although at the moment, mine are not working. So,
Oh,
you know.
you know what? You know what, Nimer?
Hmm?
You went into the control panel a minute ago in the middle of the stream. Do you think that did something?
I went into the control? No, I
The
didn't change anything.
The VAC. Oh, okay. I mean, you opened as administrator, but that's the only.
Yeah, I did. I opened it, but it didn't change anything.
So basically, Harshid, what you have to have. So you have the audio cables, and you have to have the audio repeaters set up to record sound from the right cable and play it to the exact right cable. And so this isn't the issue right now, but at least for me, usually the issue is I mess that up when I'm setting it up, or, I accidentally hit the stop button when the repeater's open because there's just two buttons there, stop and help. Oh, I'm still in line 2. Okay. See, so like right when you alt tab into the audio or the audio repeater window, it can be very easy to hit that stop button accidentally if you're not careful. So that's been an issue I've had a couple times. When you went into the control panel last time, Nimmer, did you hit set again? Like when you went through the cables, did you...
Did I hit what?
Did you hit the set button again?
Nope. I didn't hit anything.
Because I feel like I've had that happen before when I've opened the control panel and I...
No,
Like
I probably
I
just need to do a restart. I'm sure it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Anyway,
Okay.
usually it works. And it was working before the stream, so that's just what happens, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can show us OBS here.
Yeah.
Because that is a massive, massive program that I've literally only used it just to stream games, but there is so much you can do with OBS. Now, I guess I will do a screen share since Sneed's in the house. Or was. Yeah, I don't have anything. But I don't need system audio shared. Cool. Alright, so I am going to go to my desktop. Come on. And I'm going to open up OBS Studio. That stands for Open Broadcaster. Open Broadcast Studio.
Really?
Yeah, surprise. It's free, and a lot of people use it to stream, a lot of games, but it can do a lot more than that, so come on. Oh, okay, so I have what's called a profile open, and... So we have it has my last stream set up here. I did a stream of Hearthstone onto my Facebook. I don't know what all of these do. But I could start streaming here if I wanted. I mean, it wouldn't go because I don't have the stream key in. But... Alright, so I should be able to delete this source.
Studio mode checkbox. Check. Start virtual camera. Check. Start recording. Checkbox. Start streaming. Checkbox. Scene transition window.
And it can be a little bit awkward with NVDA because you have to sometimes find, like if you're tabbing around, you have to find a blank tab.
Transition combo box. Face down. Audio mixer window. Grouping.
There we go. I found the blank tab, so I should be able to delete this source here.
Delete scene dialog there needs to be at least one scene. Okay button enter. Delete scene dialog there. Space. Op 27.2.3. 64-bit Windows. Profile. Hearthstone scenes. Destination window. Audio mixer window. Grouping. Scene transition window. Transition combo. Audio mix. Music slash O checkbox. Check. Volume slider. Mix slash O. Properties for mix slash O button. Volume. Music slash.
Delete this.
Delete scene dialog there needs to be at least one scene. Okay button enter. Delete op 27.2.3. 64-bit Windows. Profile. Hearthstone scenes. Destination. Audio mixer window. Grouping. Scene transition window. Transition combo box. Face down. Break spin button. Controls window. Start recording. Checkbox. Check. Start virtual camera. Checkbox.
Maybe
Studio mode
I
checkbox.
already
Check.
got rid of it.
Exit button. Source window. List visibility. Checkbox. Check. Controls visibility. Game capture of the canvas.
Ah, no.
Lock checkbox. Check. Lock surface visibility. Checkbox. Check. Lock checkbox. Check. Lock surface visibility. Checkbox. Check. Control. Lock check. Audio mixer window. Property volume slider. Mix slash O. Music slash O. Checkbox. Check.
All right, so what I can do here is when I'm on this blank spot, it's a little confusing because there's two blank spots. One is going to be to add a new scene, which is like a new stream. And one's going to be to add a new source. I want to add a new source. And so you could hypothetically do a stream that is streaming like from 3 places at once into one scene. So I just tabbed over to the second blank window because that is going to be where the sources are. And I have to do whatever you do for a right click, so I'll shift F10. Wow.
Op 64 window. Add collapsed. Copy available. CDR plus space. Reference space. Duplicate. Copy filters available. Space filters available. Set color collapsed. Rename. Remove.
Okay, so this is where I could remove that of that first source if I didn't want that last game in here. But I'm just going to show all the different places you can stream from.
Order collapse. Alt plus O. Transform collapse. Precise output. Scale filtering collapse. Blending mode collapse. Full screen projector. Window projector. Source screenshot. Source. Show transition collapse. High transition collapse. Interact available. Filters. Properties. Add collapse.
Add. There we go. So I'm going to open up this
Audio
menu.
capture.
So you can do an audio input capture.
Audio output capture.
Audio output capture. So you can have it stream just from a mic or just from your sound source. You can stream from a browser.
Color source.
Color source, I'm not entirely sure what that is.
Display capture.
Display capture, I guess that's a screen share.
Game capture.
Game capture, that's what I did. And the cool thing about game capture is if you're streaming games, you can set it so it is streaming through your GPU. So it's like actually kind of looking the way it normally does for people.
Image.
You can stream an image, I guess.
Image slideshow. Media source.
Image slideshow, media source.
Scene.
You can stream a whole nother scene that you've set up in OBS.
Text. GDI plus.
I don't know what this GDI plus is.
VLC video source.
And if you have VLC, you can stream a video
Video
from
capture
there.
device.
Video capture
Window capture.
device.
Group. Deprecated collapse.
Or
Audio
window
capture.
capture.
Audio output capture. Audio deprecated collapse. Text. Free type 2.
So those are all the different types of things that you can set up to stream from. So if you, for example, were wanting to connect to Zoom and just share your audio without doing a whole screen share for, whatever reason, maybe it's... I was wanting to do this when I was demoing a Chromebook to a bunch of blind people last week. It was like a... training presentation.
Op 27.2.
So let me just go kind of through the process of adding a source. Then I'll go through some of the settings here. This is definitely a complicated program, and the accessibility is like, I would say it works. But you gotta be willing to be like, oh, hey, I need to look for this blank spot. Am I on the right blank spot, or am I on the blank spot right next to it? And sometimes you won't know until you do the, keyboard right click.
Op 64 window. Add collapse. Audio output capture. Audio output browser. Color source. Display capture. Game capture.
So let me just pretend that I was going to add a game capture here.
Op 27.2.3. 64-bit Windows. Profile. Hearthstone scenes. Destination window. Select source dialog. Select game capture 2. Select source dialog. Select game capture 2.
Oh, and see, I already have one.
Add existing radio button. Checked.
And see, with this, you can add a window that's already open on your computer. That's what that add existing is.
Create new radio button. Checked.
Or you can do create new.
Edit selected game capture 2. Make source visible. Checkbox checked.
Then there's that make source visible. You would want to do
OK
that.
button enter. Cancel pre and radio button checked. Edit select the make source visible check. OK button enter. Space. Drop capture any full screen application.
And then it can choose.
Cancel button enter. Defaults button enter. Grouping. Combo box capture any full screen application down. Combo box capture specific window down. Combo box capture foreground window without key down.
So you have those options there. You can capture a whole full screen application. You can capture any specific window. And when you open that, like here.
Combo box capture specific window down. Capture specific window. Audio mixer window. Grouping. Scene transition spin button 300 ms. Transition audio mixer. Filters button. Properties button. Window combo box down. Search host search. Brave streamyard.com sharing your screen. Audio repeater audio repeater 1.6 audio repeater audio repeater select audio repeater audio Facebook. Facebook program brave streamyard brave.
See, so it's all my open windows. Any of these I could do and stream here. And so even though those aren't games, I'm assuming those would work here just fine. So I'm not actually going to do a stream here. But let's just for the heck of it do a screen share of the screen share, because why not? So I pressed enter on that. And see, the only reason I knew that was here was when I tabbed, there were 3 blank tabs. See? 1, 2, 3. Well.
Audio mixer window. Grouping. Filters button. Audio mixer window. Grouping. Filters button.
Sorry, I guess 2 of them. 1.
Audio mixer window. Grouping.
And so here's this audio mixer window. I haven't found a way to make that accessible. There is a way to change audio settings, though. And so...
Transition combo box, button 300 ms. Controls window. Start streaming checkbox not checked. Start recording checkbox not checked.
So yeah, you can start streaming, start recording.
Start camera checkbox not checked.
And I do wish there were more hotkeys for all of these.
Studio mode checkbox not checked.
I'm not entirely sure what the studio mode is yet. I've literally only been using this for like 2 or 3 days. Settings. Here's what I'm looking for.
Space.
Okay. So it first comes to like this general page.
Cancel button enter. List stream. General.
And go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
You are unmuted. Cool. So
I am unmuted.
again, it's a little bit clunky because NVDA won't announce that you're in this picker. And it's not even this grouping that I just found, but if you find this grouping, you have to shift tab. And it's the blank space where NVDA doesn't talk. That's where you know the group is in settings, the picker. So I can change my general settings, stream settings, output. That's where you decide, you know, like the quality of the image you're putting out. See, that's where you can change the encoder to NVIDIA GPU because I have a GPU. And so I can apply that output change settings of change from my video card back to my integrated graphics.
Combo box balance down. Combo box down. Combo box moving. Combo box down. Spin button 3. Combo box CDR down. Spin button 2500K. Combo box mode. There is rate 15 latency and quality. If your case prefers on quality, please select more mode. Which makes it greater than latency. If your case requires 500 milliseconds and latency, please select low mode. Down. Spin button 3. Subject to video enhancements checkbox not checked.
So similar to virtual audio cable, you don't necessarily know what all of the...
Combo box mode. There is rate 15 latency and quality. If your case prefers on quality, please select more mode. Which makes it greater than latency latencycycycy if your case requires 500 milliseconds and latency, please select low mode. Down.
I mean, that combo box is pretty self-explanatory here. So you could, you know, do you want less latency and lower frame rates, or have more latency but have a sharper image? But I don't know what those high and balanced are. I don't really mess with those. But okay, so I found the blank spot again. So now I know I can change between my categories of settings. And I just down arrow. I just hit down arrow, and now I'm in my audio settings. And you can change your sample rate here. You generally want it to be the same as your microphone, so mine's 48 kilohertz.
Channel combo box stereo down.
Channel stereo.
Global audio devices. Desktop audio combo box disabled down.
Global audio devices. Now this is where this isn't what it's recording you. This is where, the actual source of audio from the game or whatever. So I can choose.
Disabled.
You can have disabled, which I had set mine to disabled because I tried to do it
Speakers.
through.
2 mm 150. Voice meter input. DV audio. Voice meter audio. Line 1. Virtual audio cable. Voice meter input. DV audio. Voice meter audio. Speakers. Realtek. R audio. Line 2. Virtual audio cable.
I tried to do it through line 2, thinking it was just like kind of any other sound source I would add to StreamYard, like I was with that music a minute ago. But the problem is that added a ton of echo to my stream because it was like a screen share or an audio share of an audio share.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And that was because I have this audio repeater set up for anything that goes into the line 2 to go into my line 1, which is set up as the microphone. So it was like doing that twice.
Desktop audio 2 combo box disabled down.
Now you can add a second audio source here if you want. So you could say I want it to play things from my headphones and my speakers. Or I want to play from, line 2 and line 1. Or maybe you have a Bluetooth headphone connected for some reason and your computer connected and they're streaming different. I don't know. But if you want to customize even more, add more sound sources, you can
Mixed auxiliary radio combo box device connected, not available down. Desktop audio 2 combo box disabled down.
You've got 2 of those.
Mixed auxiliary radio combo box device not connected, not available down. Mixed auxiliary radio 2 combo box disabled down. Mixed auxiliary radio 3 combo box disabled. Mixed auxiliary radio 4 combo box disabled. Nimer grouping. Area combo box set down.
And you can have 4 microphone inputs.
Global audio. Mixed auxiliary radio 3 combo. Mixed auxiliary radio combo box device not connected, not available down. Desktop audio 2 combo. Mixed auxiliary radio combo box device not connected, not available down. Disabled. Default. Voice meter output. DV audio line 1. Virtual audio cable.
And so when I was using this with virtual audio cable, it was better for me to have the line 1 as my microphone and then have the desktop audio here disabled. But there might not be very many reasons to actually use virtual audio cable in this specific application. You have a decay rate. I don't entirely know what that is.
Disable Windows audio setting check box checked. OK button enter. Cancel button enter. Live button enter. Hotkeys grouping. Hotkeys grouping. Enable push to music box not checked. Push to new list button 0 ms. Enable push to talk check box not checked. Push to talk to list button 0 ms. Grouping. General grouping. Sample rate combo box 48 KHZ down.
Alright.
General channel combo box global audio devices grouping. Desktop audio 2 combo box disabled down.
Now, another cool thing is when you set a microphone in here. Let's say I have line 1 set up.
77.2.3. 64 bit Windows profile. Hearthstone scene. Setting window button. Source window list visibility check box check. Control check box not check. Audio mixer window. Properties for mix show button.
I can go to this properties for mic.
Space. Op 64 window. Lock volume not checked. Unhide all. Hide. Rename. Copy filters available. Face filters available. Vertical not checked. Filters. Properties. Advanced audio properties. Alt save.
Advanced audio properties. Here we go.
Op 27.2.3. 64 bit Windows profile. Hearthstone scene. Setting window. Advanced audio properties. Dialog name. Status volume. Mono balance. Percent check box not checked. Active sources only check box checked. Close button enter. Volume for mono mix for desktop audio check box. Volume for desktop audio button 0 window.
All right. So you can change the gain of your microphone and your regular audio capture here. So like, I know I have a quiet microphone, so if I was, using my actual headset mic instead of the line 1, I could up the gain so it, sounded a little bit louder than normal Windows could make it work. Which, with my particular microphone, would maybe be a good thing. And then you can set it so it's only playing from active sources. I'm not sure how it knows what's active or not, but... The last thing I want to show is all the different places you can stream it to here. There we go. And I don't know a better way than tabbing through all those things. I wish I did.
combo box sound. Theme combo box start. Default automatically check rotates on startup checkbox check. Open text dialog on startup output grouping. Show confirmation dialog on starting. Show confirmation dialog on starting stream checkbox check. General grouping text dialog on startup checkbox check. Output group show confirmation dialog on show confirmation dialog on stopping record automatically record streaming checkbox check. Source alignment snapping grouping. Source alignment snapping checkbox check.
And so you can decide whether it's automatically records your stream on your
Snap sensitivity
computer.
snap sources to edge of stream checkbox check. Snap sources to other sources checkbox check. Snap sources to horizontal vertical center checkbox check. Protector grouping. High cursor over protector checkbox. Make protectors always on top checkbox check. Save protectors on exit checkbox check. System tray grouping. System tray checkbox check. Minimize the system tray starter checkbox check. Always minimize the system tray status bar checkbox check. Preview grouping. High overflow checkbox check. Overflow always visible checkbox check. Show overflow sources invisible checkbox check.
So many options
checkbox
here.
check. Importer grouping. Search mode location for scene collections and recording checkbox check. Studio mode grouping. Transition to scene double click checkbox check. Enable border slash vertical checkbox. Show preview slash program labels check. Multi grouping. Click the switch show scene name checkbox check. Process areas. MR95. Multi combo box horizontal.
Wow, this is big. I thought this was just going to be a few things.
General grouping. High windows from screen capture checkbox check. Disable light all non-protector protector grouping. Full screen protector. Okay button enter. Cancel button enter.
Here we go. So now I'm back to the toggle box. Stream. Here we go.
Combo box Facebook live sound.
So I went to the stream settings and then hit tab. And
RTM Twitch. Custom.
so you can do a custom stream,
Twitch.
Twitch,
RTMPS.
YouTube,
Facebook live.
RTMP. I don't know what that RTMPS is. I'm guessing that's just like to get an actual stream key from your YouTube live app or whatever if you own the channel.
Facebook live. Restream audio.
Anyways, you have Restream in here.
Twitter.
Twitter, you can stream to Twitter.
Active show all. Twitch. Twitter. Uncanny.tv. A screen. Boolean. Tom live slash active. Villain. Video. Tim. For wish. Volume.com.
I don't know what volume.com is, but you can stream to there.
WASD.tv. Web.tv. World.tv. Xlocam.com.
Oh, that sounds kind of naughty.
Use streamer. YouTube HLS. YouTube RTMPS. YouTube HLS. YouTube R. YouTube streaming now.
There used to be a
Z. YouTube streaming now. YouTube streaming now.
I thought there was a zoom in here, but maybe...
Video. Tim. For wish. Tim. Video. Villain. Tom live slash active. Boolean. A screen. Uncanny.tv. Twitter. Twitch.
Anyways, you can stream to all these different places from this app. So,
Team. StarsAVN.com. Stage 10. Showroom. Show.tv. Turn audio cloud. Restream audio. Polystreamer.com. Digital.tv. Picardo. Phone live streaming.
wow.
Android TV Real. OpenRec.tv Premium. OnlyFans.com. News. TV.
OnlyFans.
Okay.
Did it just say nude?
It did.
Wow.
Apparently there's a... Oh boy.
Logo. Livestream. Livecast.com. Livestream. Kushu Live. Consulate.live.
I don't know what a lot of these places are, but...
GameTips.tv. Fantasy.club. Facebook Live. EventLive.co. Eventuals. ePlay. eLive. Discipledia. Axis. Chatterbait. Chattasis. Casper.io. Camsoda. Camplace. Cam4. Run Live. Breakers.tv. Boxcast. Boomstream. Bodycoms. Little Live.
So-
Audacity.org Live. Bobby.video. Average. Angel Thumb.
I mean,
Average
clearly...
TV. Custom.
I wouldn't use most of these, but the advantage of this over something like Restream is all the control you have over or StreamYard even is all the control you have over what is coming out of your computer. And you know, so I could have it share, you know, like I said, I could have it shared my headphones but not my main speakers, or you know, I think you can even exclude specific apps. I haven't really played with that, but you know, so you can do a lot in here, but where it falls short is you're not gonna really have an easy time doing like a group conversation. It's much more suited to like one person doing a stream broadcasting out, as opposed to like, you know, here's a stream and you've got a lot of people connecting and talking and like we're doing now. But you know, if you're wanting to record what you're doing on your computer, or if you're wanting to, you know, games, but even just like, you know, screen captures kind of stuff to make sure you get everything exactly the way you want. This is a pretty powerful tool, but like it's not the most accessible. I hope you saw it works, and maybe people who have used it more than me have found shortcuts that I don't know about, but that's, you know, it's got options that are nice, but it takes kind of some fiddling around in the settings to get there. But yeah, that's OBS.
Streamyard.com, sharing your screen. Streamyard.com, sharing your screen. Stop sharing button. Stay ops 27.2.3, 64-bit Windows profile, Hearthstone scenes, definition window, settings dialog, server stream key maximum video.
Huh.
Combo box list, California down.
And...
Combo box Twitter down.
Wait, what?
List general. Grouping, general grouping, language combo box English down. Theme combo box start, default down. Automatic
mine
start
might
dialog,
be
start
okay.
grouping, show confirmation dialog, stop streams. Confirm changes dialog, you want save changes, save change, open enter. Space ops 27.2.3, 64-bit.
Oh, I was in my... Okay.
Sources window, list visibility check, controls window, settings button.
So those were all OBS settings. And you have,
Show recording, alt plus R.
you know, I just pressed Alt-F to go into the file menu.
Always on top, check alt plus A. Show profile folder, show settings folder, settings alt plus S. Remote recording alt plus M.
Oh, okay. I guess you can
Show
get the
recording alt plus R,
settings
remote
from there.
recording alt plus
Let's
S.
make sure it's the same.
Normal.
Okay, cool. That's an
Ops
easier way to get the
27.2.3,
settings.
64-bit window. Show recording alt plus R, exit alt plus X.
You can just go into the file
Always
menu.
on top, check show profile folder, show settings folder. Show always on exit alt plus X. Always on top, check alt plus A. Show profile folder, show settings folder, settings alt plus S. Remote recording alt plus M.
Right there in
Show
the
recording alt
file
plus R,
menu.
exit alt plus X. Now do property change on game app full screen interface 11. Log line check alt plus L. New. Auto configuration wizard. Help portal alt plus D. Show recording alt plus R.
And I was just going through the different menus here. So yeah. There's a lot of options and a lot to wrap your head around with this program for
Show
sure.
recording alt plus R, exit alt plus X.
But now I'll exit for
Select
real.
synthesizer dialog, audio output device, combo box line 2, virtual audio cable, audio play mode, combo box mode, OK button, cancel button, synthesizer, combo box IBM TTS, select alt plus S, audio output device, audio play mode, combo OK button, add output TTRL.
Okay. How are your repeaters going?
I don't know. After I reboot, they're still not working, so...
Huh.
I don't know. I might have to try to uninstall this virtual cable thing and reinstall it again.
Yeah, now that is the biggest problem that either of us have run into. Like, you know, typically there aren't problems that you can't fix with you know, every problem I or Nimer have had up to this point with the virtual audio cable seemed to be just a quick fix. So
StreamYard grade 1, StreamYard cap.
I don't think what Nimmer's experiencing right now is normal, is what I'm getting at.
Enter landmark, edit broadcast
No, I don't think it is
button.
either.
Line check, enter broadcast status menu button submenu. Complimentary and post comments, post comments, list below, include open comment actions. Toggle button,
Unfortunately,
before PM red.
that's what I'm running
Click open
into.
comment actions.
Yeah.
Toggle button, show comment broadcast. Off the race size 2. RJ 17 mile wave content for the past month. Sorry, I haven't been listening to this. Button start comment.
Oh, Harshid, thank you for the kind words.
RJ 17 mile wave content for the past month. Sorry, I haven't been listening to this. Off the race size 2. RJ 17 button start comment.
No worries, Harshid. I get we all have a
Click
lot
open comment.
going
Toggle button, show RJ 17 voice meter. I think it's mixed potatoes.
Ha! Yeah, voice meter. That's right, Harshid. Voice meter potato. I think that was an old version of... Now I'm remembering, now that you say, actually. I think the banana is like a newer version, but I tried. Because I think, actually, it makes a lot of this stuff more intuitive for sighted folks.
Button start comment. Click open comment. Toggle button, share button, animations, and your cables. Toggle click open, start, toggle click open, start, toggle click open, start comment. Hey, 24 PM red. Toggle button, click open comment actions. Button start comment. I will look at those comments to the destinations. Click open comment actions.
Oh. How do I block this spammer?
Toggle button, show comment broadcast.
This.
Hey, 24 PM red. Toggle button, click open comment actions. Oh, M.
Then you have to go to the options button for the comment.
Button user, timeout.
Got it.
User.
I just blocked a spammer.
Toggle button, show comment broadcast. Click open comment actions. Button start comment. Hey,
Kirt spammer.
A E E space E A D O N. I will look at those comments to the destinations. Learn more.
Cade Eaton posted gibberish at us.
Cool.
So
Thank you,
Cade
Katie.
Eaton- Yeah.
Truly appreciate you. All right. Well,
I'm sure when we know what's going on, like it'll be a.
well, I didn't change any settings, and it certainly didn't change any settings from the time the stream started.
Yeah.
And that's what's really odd to me. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to reinstall this thing,
Yeah.
or figure out where it stores its config files and delete them, or I don't know. But yeah, even after a restart, it's not working.
Yeah. I mean. Oh, that's crazy.
Now it is late, and I very well could have the repeaters misconfigured, except that I didn't change anything. They were already configured. So
Yeah. No, I heard you before the stream. They were set up right, and yeah. Well, hopefully. I don't know. Hopefully, uninstall and reinstall would fix it, but I know that's annoying.
Yep.
Well. Let's see.
Let's see. No other comments. Looks like.
All right.
Well,
Thank you, everybody.
and you're sharing your audio, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I had a Facebook comment. Oh, whoa.
Right.
Ah! There we go. Ah!
All right. Well, everybody, I think we will.
On that note, that's probably a good time to kill it.
Yeah, we'll kill the stream. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share it. Thanks for joining us, and we'll probably see you all next week.
Yeah, thanks for powering through, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, Kirt.
Yeah, of course.
Bye, everyone.